Hello, Libra. I hope you guys are doing great. I just wanted to try to pop on here. This is my day of staff calls all day, so I have just a few moments to get your reading in so that I can get it up for you for this week. My name is Emily Gear. I am a multi-dimensional channel and transformative energy healer, and these are your weekly messages. I'm not assigning specific weekdays to it, simply because I'm going to start trying to be on a rotating cycle where it won't be for a specific week, but I might post you on Thursday, and it will be from Thursday to Thursday, if that makes sense. So this is Wednesday, you're going up Wednesday to Wednesday. I'm going to take just a second to clear these cards because I just opened them up. I actually got started with your reading, and then I got a picture of a different card deck in my head, and I was like, oh, I need to go get that one. So, okay. All right, good. Very good. So we are looking at energies for Libra, and as soon as I started shuffling, several cards came out. So Libra, it looks like for this week, you are potentially in a home situation which is less than ideal. There is some growing to be done. So what you've got here is the Four of Cups with the Ten of Pentacles. And then you have the Prince of Pentacles with the Seven of Pentacles coming up. And so what I really feel from this is that, like, it's almost like whatever it is that you had felt was kind of your happily ever after, or was like your stability forever. You really felt like this situation was forever, whether it's a relationship or a living place, but it's something having to do with your living arrangement or your life in general, your wider contentment or legacy even. So this very much could be about a job or a relationship or family issue. So this is like a big issue. And with the Four of Cups showing up next to it, I really feel like there's some measure of, like, it's either boredom or it's discontentment. Something isn't right, okay? It's lacking something. Whether that something is a sense of intimacy between partners, or it could be a sense of passion for your work anymore, if we're talking about a job, okay? I just heard that there is something better for you out there. So if you are hearing this message and this is kind of resonating with you, whatever it is that kind of fits this description, whether it's a job that's been kind of on your mind, or a partnership, or even a home or a neighborhood, or something about that very close living arrangement, there's something better for you out there, okay? I'm not saying you need to leave that situation. There might simply be a change that you can make to make this happen. And that truly could be the case. With the Knight of Pentacles showing up with the Seven of Pentacles, this is slow change, okay? But it very much could be that if you have this feeling that I need to get out of this situation, then this is confirmation that this is not the best you could do, so to speak, okay? Or that your life is heading in another direction. But these next two cards seem to put on the brakes in a way that makes me feel like you don't want to act too rashly. If you're just coming to this realization, it's okay. This is the part where you start making plans, okay? You start looking around at what you want to keep, what needs to go, and you start making plans in the physical world, potentially start saving money to afford a new house, looking at your assets, if this is about, splitting off from a partner, considering your finance options, if this is about, can I leave this job to something that more supports me on an emotional and spiritual level. So there's some planning involved in making this jump and change, but I do feel that it's coming in for you, because I don't feel that whatever you are in now has panned out in the way that either you expected or wanted or the way that you deserve, okay? All right, let's see what else is coming up for Libra. What else for Libra for the coming week, please? Something else for Libra for the coming week. Okay. Yeah, you need to focus very much so on your own personal independence. And so that does kind of go back to this idea of really evaluating assets, things like that. It could come down to like, what would it take for you to be able to be financially independent or independent in some way from whatever this previous situation is. So again, we could be talking about a relationship where you might be jointly managing the finances or dependent on each other. This could absolutely be a job where, you know, you might make a good amount of, or a reasonable amount of pay, but the job is just killing you, or it's just not what you want, and what you do want might require some sacrifice, or maybe taking a cut in compensation. So this is really asking yourself, what will it take for me to be completely independent, particularly financially, but this can absolutely and should absolutely involve how can you be energetically independent, because so much of the way that our universe and our realities are changing right now has to do with making sure that each one of us can operate as a sovereign being. And that is that we are not emotionally or codependently dependent on other people, that in the physical plane, you know, it's good to be interdependent so that you can relate to people, help each other, but that you can also be independent at times as well, if that makes sense. This could also absolutely be for some of you who have been thinking about starting businesses. This is that kick in the pants. This is that like sign that it's time, that you know, you may be laying the groundwork now, but it's really time to get this started. I'm feeling like this summer is sort of like that open doorway to getting this really fruitfully set up. I'm feeling like between the eclipses, if that makes some sense, that like after that second eclipse that's happening later this summer, I think at the end of July, that you should really have a good idea of what you need to do in order to make this happen. Now that might not be for everybody, so if that doesn't seem right to you, always follow your own intuition. But for a lot of you, it's that these solar eclipses are opening doorways for you so that you can achieve this sense of financial independence or spiritual independence or emotional independence, okay? A lot of you are starting businesses. And that are going to be fruitful for you. Also, follow your guidance when you get it. I'm sure that most of you are. But that bird appearing there just made me feel like you are receiving guidance, and that it's important that, it's like it's whispering in your ear. It's important that you follow it, because it provides you with higher sight. It provides you with a bird's eye view of what's going on. And it's very easy in these situations, because I feel like there's a measure of stress or fear that could be involved in taking some of these steps. You know, there's an element of risk, I guess I should say, not necessarily fear. I'm not seeing fear come up here, but there is an element of risk. And it's important to listen to and acknowledge those messages. They are not just the chatterings of your mind, okay? The King of Wands is coming up, and this is all about empowerment. And I think that this is a critical doorway into your self-empowerment. It's a first step, if you will, or an early step, if you will. And it's going to help you start managing your physical life in a more effective way. If you feel like you've been out of control or not the person in control of your physical life, then this is this is the doorway into that, okay? You're going to be able to start taking control of and managing your physical existence. So this is basically not having to depend on other people and or not having to answer to so many other people. That doesn't mean ever. Like, you might have a boss where you're going or whatever, but maybe you won't. I mean, this is really all about the self-employed, the successful entrepreneur. Also, temperance has come out, and so I feel like all of this is a huge gift in order to help you. I'm feeling like you're transmuting a lot of old energy related to your old life. I almost feel like this is a total transformation for you. So you're transmuting old energy related to your old life and shedding that skin and coming into a new sense of independence, a new life, new energy, new skin, new light body. I just heard, just looking at this card here. It allows that your energy to flow. It allows your purpose to become manifest. It allows your I just heard it allows divine will to become manifest on earth. So it suggests then that you are, and we all are, a channel of divine will in allowing our purposes, our life purpose, our mission to play out on the earthly plane, right? To serve and to benefit ourselves and others equally, but independently, interdependently, primarily, okay? We've got just a couple minutes left, and then we'll move on to the extended reading for relationships and an energy healing, but this is looking amazing. I truly do feel that this is primarily, actually, I would say about 60 to 70% of you, we're talking about jobs. About 40 to 30% of you, we're talking about relationships. So we're definitely talking about both scenarios and becoming independent so that you can then become interdependent. It's as if you need to heal yourself by going farther in one direction and then you come back to center. Because right now you're falling in the category of codependent or dependent, essentially, either on a job, a specific job, or a specific person. The Fool has just come out. So again, with that brand new beginning, the shedding of the skin, the brand new light body, this is the brand new path. Okay, so a lot of things are changing for you. This is a weekly read, but I did feel that this kind of is the trajectory, if this is resonating with you, over the summer between the eclipse dates. So basically the month of July, okay? Now you can ignore this and pretend it's not happening, but that means that over in the fall, more than likely in the fall, you're going to have some tower events come in to kind of push you into your highest and best good, because your higher self is up there operating, trying to get you to a certain place, right? It's still you, but if you're not well connected to it, then you may be ignoring the advice. And that's why this is this bird coming in. Make sure you're listening to the advice so you don't end up in the fall getting pushed into a tower situation that, which means, for any of you who are not aware or not familiar with that term, it kind of means that, you know, your life begins to fall apart in the ways that you didn't choose to leave in the past, okay? So if you knew something wasn't right, but you stuck with it because you didn't feel like changing or didn't want to deal with it, or you were too afraid or too stubborn, you know, any of those things are possible, then the universe will step in at times and knock it down so that you then have to start over and you end up in this place anyway. So much better to make it be by your own choice, by your own will. And indeed, it is still by your own will if it happens through a tower moment later, but it's by the will of your higher self as opposed to the combined and balanced will of the higher self with the conscious mind, okay? So yeah, this new beginning is really coming in whether you're planning for it or not, if this is resonating with you. I don't want to freak anybody out, but I've come to the point where I am absolutely like I'm excited by new beginnings, even if I don't feel like changing, because it is always better. It is always better. You just have to start trusting, and again, that's part of the Fool as well. Start trusting in the universe and in Source Creator, in the divine, or whatever you choose to trust in God, in your higher self. Even if you don't even want to involve that other stuff and you just want to involve yourself and the infinite wisdom of yourself, then trust in your higher self, okay, and your intuition. Okay, we should wrap it up, but let me just get, actually I'm going to pull an animal card to close this up with, and then we'll move on to the extended reading. Card for Libra, please, to close up this section of the reading with. All right, starfish spirit. Open to infinite possibility. That's perfect. And so I feel like there's nothing to be afraid of. This is infinite possibility. It's infinitely more beneficial to you. It's infinitely healthier for you. With the star, just the starfish being a star just feels like this sense of really stepping into your role and really shining brightly in your life. And so that's a full 360 or full 180 from beginning, the very first card coming out, this card of like boredom and discontent, this Four of Cups, right? All the way to the star. And so this is a transformation taking place over the next month or so. It's really about trusting yourself, trusting the divine, trusting the universe, and taking the steps that you're guided to take. It's really that simple. Okay, guys? If you would like to look into your relationships for the coming week, there will be a link in the description box below for the extended reading, and there will also be an energy healing in the extended read as well. So I hope to see you guys there, and if not, thank you so much for listening, and I will see you next week. Okay, bye.